Good morning. Happy Saturday. I was pressing buttons like this. Did I go live? How's everyone doing? Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I hope everyone's having a wonderful Saturday so far. It is beautiful weather outside, darling. I don't know where you guys are from, but hopefully you're having beautiful fall weather. It is so nice outside. So as you guys come in, you know the drill. Please answer that question of the day. And before we even start, I got to give a shout out to the replay gang. Thank you guys so much for always showing up and showing out. Y'all, I see like a red like color over my camera. I don't know what's going on. It's just gonna be red today. It'll be okay. All right, let me go to the comments here. Let me see who all is here. Good morning, my friends. Thank you so much for being here and spending your Saturdays with me. Y'all know I appreciate it. Let's turn some of these comments on here. As you guys can see, the title of today's live. We're gonna live today. Y'all was live last week, so I came prepared today. I wore a dress today. Cause honey, y'all ain't gonna catch me off guard again. I said, let me dress up and put on something nice today in case they live again today. I'm ready for y'all. Okay, hold on one second. Okay, my daughter is at work. She's texting me. Hold on one second. All right, as you come in, answer the question of the day. Let me grab it. Let me find it here. Question of the day. I know I saved it out here because it wasn't up here earlier. Here we go. Finish this sentence. When you realize you've overspent, your first initial thought reaction is blank. Answer that. Finish that sentence for your question of the day. When you realize you've overspent, what's your first initial thought or reaction? Like, what are we doing? What's the first thing that comes to mind? Put that in the comment section below. And also, today's live is about managing emotional spending. Someone sent this suggestion to me on my Buy Me a Coffee page. So I thought this would be a great topic for today's live since the holidays will be here before we know it. I don't even know how many more days there are into Christmas anymore. Probably about, I don't know. We're probably approaching 60. I don't know. So let's talk about that today. I thought that would be a great topic. But before we get into that, let's go ahead. Let's finish this sentence. And I am going to remove, one second. Let me remove this banner and let me hop into the comments to see what y'all are saying. Good morning. Let's see. My thoughts are crap. I miscalculated. We're okay. We can cover it. And you're going to owe yourself next time. We'll do better. It's a learning process. We'll get it. Oh my gosh. Always such inspiring words of that, Janelle. I love it. All right. Adjust my budget. Hopefully that's your first thought. I first need to find the problem. Okay. And then adjust. Okay. Good morning. Come on in. Thank y'all for being here. I am the problem, but I am doing better with my budget. Yeah, that's okay. As long as you're doing better. Who was that? Ollie? Hey, Ollie. Let's see. Who else? Who haven't I heard from? Good morning. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see. I didn't track my expenses consistently. Okay, that's your first thought. I didn't track my expenses consistently. I would have caught it, right? Good morning. Come on in. Thank you for putting your hashtag Saturday Lives in. Let's see. Good morning. Thank you for being. Oh, everybody's just showing up today. First of all, thank you for waking up early with me. I know that's hard for some of y'all. I know some of y'all are a couple hours behind me. So you know I appreciate you for being here. Good morning. All right, let's see what Irene says. I have a small cushion that I can pull from. I don't usually overspend. I am a cash envelope spender, and when the envelope is empty, it's empty. That's the point of the cash envelope system, right? When it's gone, it's gone. What you gonna do? Good morning. You gonna learn today. That's your first thought. You gonna learn today. I love it. My first thought or reaction is, OMG, I hope I have the money to cover it. Usually I did because I had savings. That's a good one. That is a good one. Good morning. Hey, good morning. Thank you for being here. Oh, like number 6. Oh, hold on. Ooh, somebody double check those likes because I see that there are 64 people in here. By my calculations, that should be 64 likes. Wait, I did the Medea on y'all. By my calculations, if anybody knows where that's from, comment down below. Okay, let's see. My first initial thought is rebalance the budget. by taking from another category that has not been completely used up. Then I scream worse. Then I scream, where's my glasses? Then I scream words of profanity. Ain't that the truth? Okay, that's better. How about putting our glasses on? That's way better. Oh my God, that's so funny. Okay, let me see. Good morning. Good morning. Thank y'all so much for being here. Sit down and lock in and review the errors. That's a good one. My first thought is it's okay. It's okay. Don't stress. We plan for this, or we can recover in less than 90 days because I put it on a credit card. Okay. Why less than 90 days? We can recover in less than 90 days. That's the goal. If you do it, give yourself 90 days. Okay. Hold on one second, you guys. Okay. All right. Let's see. See who I haven't gotten from yet. Do I regret that? 50% split. That's what your initial thought is, 50% split? Good morning. Come on in. To scale back on any other spending. So if you overspend, your initial thought is, all right, that just means I got to scale back. You find elsewhere where you got to scale it back, right? When I realized I overspent, I immediately looked to see which categories can I adjust to cover the spending. Okay, that's the same thing. Let me see where I can cut back, readjust. Where do I move things, right? Dang, I messed up. You know why these are so funny? Because these are real reactions. Like, damn it, what did I do? How did this happen? Like that is an initial thought. I overspent this month and had to rework the budget. Doesn't happen often, but I usually check my sinking fund. I usually check my sinking funds and buffers. That's why they're there. In my Florida. I'm sorry. Florida ever say, damn. Y'all are silly. Now listen, we have to be silly, right? If you are not able to laugh at your own, demise, then what are you gonna do? So silly. Woo. You feel like Florida Evers? Oh Lord. It's 68 days till Christmas. Thank you, ma'am. Was I talking about Lisa on here? Lisa, I may have been talking about you on Instagram. When you guys are asking me if there's anyone to follow when it comes to investing or investments or just learning how to invest, Lisa J Stocks. I want you guys to follow her. This is where you're going to get your information from. I don't do investments over here, but you are more than welcome to follow Lisa J Stocks, and she's going to get you right. She is going to get you right. All right, let's see. That's it. How do I dig myself out of this hole? You don't have a miscellaneous envelope. Oh, Christina said, what are we going to do? Panic is setting in. We don't have a miscellaneous envelope. What are we going to do? I know that's right. I'll just keep it because I'll need it anyway. Eventually, I'm going to need it. Oh, my gosh. Good morning, everyone. I don't overspend, but if I did, I would make sure to always keep a buffer in my account. Oh, very nice. Plan to pay it off. Okay. Yes, let's talk about it. Yes, I've overspent. I've panicked, but now we got to plan to pay it off. That's the end goal. You're going to have to pay it off. I need to go to savings, okay? You got to go to savings to grab it. Time to adjust in other categories to make up the difference for my mess up. All right, so these are good answers here, you guys. These are great, honest answers because, of course, as you know, these things happen. Let me take these comments off the screen here. So today we are going to discuss emotional spending. Now, I asked for you guys, if you ever have suggestions or topics for the live, to, submit them to me through my Buy Me a Coffee page. You can email me. I have a questionnaire in the description box that you can always fill out if you have topics you want to talk about. And I got this topic. This was from M Silk on my Buy Me a Coffee page. I always ask, what would you like to learn next? And they wrote, how to manage emotional spending. So I was like, that's a great topic. We are coming up towards the end of the year. The holidays are rapidly approaching. So why not discuss it? Let's go ahead. Let's lock in. Let's talk about emotional spending. So thank you so much for that topic. That's what we're going to talk about today. And as you guys put in your hashtag Saturday Lives, today there will be 2 winners. And I'm going to give away my You Spend, You Save Savings Challenge, your HISA Savings Challenge. So every time you do spend, you got to pick an amount, and that's what you will put in your savings account, in your high yield savings account. So we will have 2 winners today. So make sure you go ahead and put hashtag Saturday Live if you choose to enter. We'll pick the winners at the end of the giveaway if this is your first time here. And I think I pulled up the tool. 1 second. Yes, because we got 34 entries. Okay. So today we're just going to discuss emotional spending, how to manage it. Now, a lot of us may think we don't have emotional spending. You know, that's not you. And maybe you don't. But for those of us who may go through it, we're going to talk about it today and how we can fix it. Okay. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, let's get ready to lock in. Go ahead and hit that like button if you like this title for today. If you haven't had a chance to download the live worksheet, go ahead and download the live worksheet where you can take down any notes. This is on my Buy Me a Coffee page. It is a freebie. And if you don't have a way to download it or anything like that, use a notebook. Use your planners, use pen and paper, all right? All right, let's go ahead and get started so I can make sure we get to all of these topics today. And again, thank you so much for being here. All right, so let's talk about how to manage emotional spending, okay? Now, the first thing we've got to discuss is emotional spending isn't always about the money. It is about the trigger. Now, how do we recognize it? Emotional spending often happens after a feeling, either a stress, boredom, loneliness. It can even be celebrating. You can't fix it by cutting the spending first. Okay. That's not how it works. That never works. Where you're like, I'm just going to cut the spending. You have to fix it by understanding why it happens. Why do I keep doing all of this emotional spending? Okay. Some things to look for. This is the common pattern. You start off with, I deserve this, and it relieves you temporarily. But then guess what follows? That guilt and then the financial setback. Okay. So how do we fix it? I want you guys to recognize your top 3 spending triggers. Write them down in your planner, on your worksheet you printed out, your notebook. And then I want you to come up with a plan of action for it. So this is what I want you to write and fill in this sentence when it happens. When I feel blank, I will blank instead. Okay. So example, when I feel stressed, I'll update my sinking funds. Or when I feel stressed, I'll, do a no spend challenge. Think of ways to counteract it. Okay. Build a sinking fund for special occasions. Listen, I'm always going to tell you, you can still enjoy the rewards. You just got to plan for them. You've got to plan for it, okay? So that's the first thing you got to realize when it comes to emotional spending. You got to realize what's triggering it. What makes it happen? Why do I do this all the time? And start by writing it down. If you write it down when you recognize it, that's the best time to focus on it, okay? All right, so now with that being said, I want you guys to put a number 1 next to your answer. Let's kick off our first question of the live. And that is not the first question. Hold on. That was from last week. Here's the first question. If you had to name your biggest emotional trigger for spending, what would it be? So is it stress? Is it boredom? Is it sadness, anger, FOMO, fear of missing out, or something else? Put that in the comment section. Put a number 1 next to it. And if you don't mind, drop why. If you know why, then you already know that there's an issue that you need to work on. So once again, I want you to put in the comment section, number 1 next to your answer. If you had to name your biggest emotional trigger for spending, what would it be? Stress, boredom, sadness, anger, fear of missing out. It may even be something else. Go ahead and drop that in the comment section. And I'm going to get back to the comments here. And I think if I didn't do so already, let me put up the hashtag Saturday Live just in case anyone here is new. Make sure you comment hashtag Saturday Live if you wish to be a part of the giveaway, and I'll draw it at the end of the live. We got 44 entries, so we're doing good. All right. Somebody said they watch Good Times every day. Lord, Good Times will come on. You know how you have those great shows? They're just going to be on forever in replay. I love it. I love it. Okay, let me see. Let me get down here. Hi, Marie. Hey, Mona. Oh, Mona said you hit me in the gut today. Hold on, y'all. This is my daughter. Hold on. Hold on. Let me make sure she's okay. She's not to be all in Mini-Me's business, but for you guys that don't know, Mini-Me has a job. She's been working since she was 14 and she works at Publix. And so she's gone to her boss and she said she turned 16 a few months ago and she's gone to her boss and she's asked because she started learning how to cashier. She don't want to be a bagger anymore. She wants to learn how to cashier. I said, girl, you sure? Because you don't know how people is when it comes to cashier, but she said she wants to learn. So she was talking to her boss and she was just giving me an update. So, okay. Sorry about that. Okay. All right. Now I'm locked in. Okay. Let's get down here for question number 1. That's our Mini-Me. We got to be so proud of her. All right. Let me get down here to question number 1. Please put a number 1 next to your answer so I can recognize it. Here we go. Oh, anger. Let me put the question back up here. This was, what was it again? That is last week's question. Why didn't I delete those? Okay. If you had to name your biggest emotional trigger for spending, what would it be? Okay. And then I saw anger. Yes. Boredom. I get bored really easy. Oh, okay. Because I sat idle too long. Okay. FOMO, fear of reaching out, fear of missing out. Not really sure, but stress is after because I know I shouldn't. Don't you hate that feeling? I don't have this feeling anymore. But don't you hate that feeling when you buy something and then the stress kicks in, you start feeling bad, then you're like, should I return it? I probably should return this. Then you go back and you return whatever it was. I cannot stand that feeling. I told myself no more. I'm not dealing with that no more. Stress and anger, definitely FOMO, boredom. Okay. Me too. Boredom, stress. Stress from Beal, eating whatever. Oh, your husband is Beal. Okay. Stress from Beal, eating whatever he wants, his spending, and having to cover stuff he can't. Ooh, that's a couple of things. That's a two-folded answer right there. That's a couple of things that's going on. I felt that one. FOMO and for the dopamine hit. Not having it because I don't spend on myself and everything else is a priority. Stress. Good time, Little House on the Prairie. Y'all, I could talk about old shows all day. My favorite old time show. And y'all gonna laugh at me. I don't care, but this is my show. Bonanza is my show. When I tell you there ain't a Bonanza I ain't seen, and whenever I know when I hear the theme music or if I hear any music on, I'm like, is Bonanza on? What's happening? It's my favorite show. I get that from my granddaddy, honest. When I used to visit my granddad, all he would do was watch Westerns. All he would do. All right. Let's get sadness. Yeah. I see and I think I need it. Ooh, that's a good one. Okay. Anger and FOMO. When someone makes me feel selfish or guilty, I get angry and spend money on something fun. I also have some impulsive tendencies with hobbies. These are good ones, you guys. Too tired to cook. That's a good one. Too tired to cook, or else at least I tell myself that I may be tired, but you know what? I ain't too tired to do. While I'm too tired to cook, I ain't too tired to get on my phone and be on Instagram and TikTok for the next hour or two. Why you ain't too tired for that? But you too tired to cook. These conversations I have with myself. So I'll be telling myself, don't try it, sis. But you ain't too tired for that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, talking to myself for real. Stress. Oh my God. Yes, I love to watch March and October. I usually build my budget in these 2 months due to major loss in those months. So I know I said to myself, oh, wow, that's a good comment right there. You know that you've suffered major losses in those months, and you know you usually overspend or whatever it may be in those months. So you set aside more money just to cover. That is real talk. And that is what we're going to talk about today. The fact is, listening to all of you guys answer this, you know this. You know it when it's happening because you could answer this question. So that's the first thing, being able to know what triggers it before you can move on and fix it. I love that. Oh my God, that was good. All right, let's get to our second tip on how to manage emotional spending. Okay. Now, this is how emotional spending shows up in your budget and you don't even realize it. Okay. Now, how do we recognize it? Some of y'all already said this. Emotional spending often hides in your miscellaneous, buffer, or food categories. A lot of y'all said this, that you don't overspend, you just use your miscellaneous and your buffer categories. Guess what? That's where emotional spending is hiding. It's lurking over there. It knows where you're going to go. You might be within budget, but you're out of control emotionally. Constantly. Now, you're not on point fingers, but constantly. No, I'm just saying. Rearranging envelopes. Y'all said y'all's words, not mine. Constantly rearranging envelopes or using rollover money to fix this problem. You see what I'm saying? This makes your savings goal always feel like you're starting over. Remember, we talked about starting over last week, how starting over can just be draining. This makes you feel like you're starting over. When in reality, you're not starting over, you're just moving money around to accommodate this emotional spending issue that you don't even realize that's what it is. And you're constantly moving money around, and then it always makes like you got to start your budget over when you don't even realize what's causing it. So how do we fix it? You need to add a buffer envelope or category, but keep it separate from your emergency fund. Keep it separate and track every unplanned purchase in your weekly expense tracker. And look at this. Color code the emotional ones. Can you imagine? Now, I don't know if y'all color code y'all expenses. I know I do. Let me know in the comment section if that's something you do. I always color code, based on the category of what I spent when I'm tracking my expenses, just so I can see where I've spent it. Your banks probably do this for you too. They do pie charts. Can you imagine? Go in there and color code the ones that's from those triggers that you just said. You purchased this for this reason. Make it some color that's gonna stand out. Next thing you know, your sheet gonna be all blue. You're gonna be like, what the? Wait a minute. You won't know it until you write it down and recognize it. Okay, that's the start. You gotta be able to approach these things. All right, so now we're gonna pull up our question number 2. I want you to put a number 2 next to this answer. If you checked your budget right now, which category do you think your emotional spending sneaks into the most? Where do you think you'll find it? Where you don't know. And what I mean by that is where it's hiding. Which one do you always move money from or take money from to cover it? Which one do you adjust the most to cover for that spending you just done? You guys know what it is. Put that in the comment section below. Make sure you put a number 2. And then while you're doing it, make sure you hit this like button. I hope you guys are enjoying today's topic. And again, thank you. Thank you so much. This was M. Silk who suggested we talk about this, how to manage emotional spending. So that's why we're talking about this today. Make sure you go ahead and put your number 2s in there. And while you guys are doing that, let me get a quick swig of water. And let me see what you guys are saying. Let's see. FOMO for sure. This is number 1. Wow, is your daughter investing yet? She is not investing yet, but what I've done, if you guys are not following me, I have an Acorn account. It's in the description box below. If you guys want to, if you sign up for it, we'll both get points for signing up. And what they have is a kids investment account. And so what I've done is I've opened investment accounts for my daughter and my nieces and nephews where I contribute money every month. And then they are able to touch it when they turn 25. And I started this for them probably a few years ago. So by the time they turn 25, this is my contribution to them. Hopefully they decide that they want to keep it and keep investing with it. But I wanted to have that in place for them. So if they ever need any money by the time they turn 25, here is a gift from mommy/auntie. There you go. That's all you're getting. Look, that's all you get. So she hasn't started investing yet. I started investing for her. But again, if anyone's looking for something like that, go ahead and check out Acorn. It's in the description box below. All right, let me get to number two. Let me look. I'm looking for some number twos. If you checked your budget right now, which category do you think emotional spending sneaks into the most? Okay, let me see if I can find it down here. Searching. Oh my God, I think are you guys answering? But hold on. I think I've seen a lot of answers. Wait, I color code my categories. I don't color code my categories. No, I don't track. I find my emotional support categories, then I'm good. Oh, this is all about color coding. I color code based on source of money, cash, debit, and credit. Okay, you color code based on how you spent the money. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. No, I don't color code. Yes, I color code. Oh, look at this. Yes, I color code. That should have been a question of the day. Yes, I color code my expense. My overspend is dark purple. Ooh, I like that. Okay. I like the idea of color coding my emotional spending. I loved it. This is how I find out stuff from y'all to see if we're all doing things the same way. You know what I'm saying? That was a good one. And sometimes when we budget, I just assume everybody does it the same way I do. No, we all have a different way of doing things. I just love that. Anyway, all right, here we go. Here's number two. Your savings. This is where your emotional spending sneaks into your savings, okay? Emergency fund, emergency buffer, sinking, emergency, emergency, self-care, eating out, eating out. I would go over on food shopping all the time. Take out and fund money. Like you said, my expense sheet be orange and teal. Your sheet be orange and teal. That's pretty colors together. Hobbies and household emotional spend the most in these. Money comes from my buffer or food category. Wants, my food money from buffer, all. Just wherever you can get it from. I felt that one. Definitely my oops envelope. Eating out, self-care, miscellaneous, savings buffer. Y'all, we're going to do a live on savings buffer, miscellaneous, because we need to have a conversation about it. I get serious. We need to have a conversation about it. What is the true definition of a buffer account? We'll discuss. Savings, eating out, my own savings, groceries, essentials, just never want my home in lack. That's true. Saving for retirement and vacation. Okay, let's see. I saw that one. My birthday envelope, miscellaneous spend. All right, this is where your emotional spending is hiding. I will often pull from another envelope in my wallet that doesn't have such a big expense that week. Not on emotional spend, but keep a spending fund called Just For Me. That I love that name. I use Acorn also for my daughter. Just started last month. All right, let's go. Household sinking funds because I usually buy in bulk, but I still stuff my envelope on payday, so it's usually extra money in there. Oh yeah, we're gonna have a live about this. Birthdays and holidays, savings or groceries and or miscellaneous envelopes. All right. So you guys know where the emotional spending, which category it sneaks into, because those are the ones that you are adjusting or pulling from. And then I think I heard some of you say, "Oh, I usually cash stuff this envelope and it has a little extra, so it's okay. I'll just pull it from there." Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. All right, let's get into our third tip about how to manage emotional spending. Okay. And this one is how to budget with your emotions, not against them. Now, hear me out. Okay. Let's learn how to budget with our emotions, not against them. So, how to recognize it? Fighting your emotions doesn't work. You need to budget for them. Have you ever tried to fight your emotions? You ain't gonna win. Like, have you ever had a time when you were just so angry? and you're like, I'm not gonna cry, I'm not gonna cry. And then the next person that say something to you, them tears just come streaming down your face. You ain't trying to cry, but your emotions, you ain't winning when it comes to your emotions. You are not gonna win. You can try to control them. Oh, but them emotions gonna win every time. It's the same thing with your budget. So instead of trying to fight them, let's try to budget for them. Okay. Budgeting should include comfort. It should include celebration and fun. Just in a planned, controlled way. You have to take control of this emotional spending. We don't want to stop it. You can't just stop cold turkey. Let's plan it in a controlled way. Okay. When you ignore your emotional needs, you're setting your budget up for failure. Like all of you guys who said you color coded, you know where that spending is coming from. If you ignore it, you're going to set your budget up for failure if you continue to move and readjust from different categories instead of just handling it up front. Okay. So, how to fix it? Add a guilt-free fund for things that brings you peace and joy and those things you want to do. Add a fund just for those things that you know is happening all the time. Set a monthly self-care challenge. For example, spend $20 max in a way that satisfies your needs. Don't go broke, but you know you have those certain needs for your self-care. Set a challenge so you can set up a monthly amount and you pull from there, and that way you ain't got to pull from those other categories. Use a reward tracker. I think you guys said this. For every financial win, every time you pay off debt, every time you hit a goal you earn a small reward. So instead of fighting that emotional spending, instead of trying to say, oh, I know I'm buying this because I'm bored or all this stuff, make yourself a category for it. You know you're doing it, so get ahead of the picture. Does that make sense? Like I tell you guys all the time, I always say, save for the things that you want so you don't go into debt. I'm going to save for the things I want because I know I like to go shopping. That's just how it is. I'm not going to make myself try to stop shopping because then I'm going to set myself up for failure. But if I save for it, now I know I have a category that I can spend out of that can control that urge. Okay. All right. So I want you to put a number 3 next to this answer. And I want to know, this is a good one. If you could build one emotional category into your budget, what would you call it and what would it be for? So if you went ahead and you made a category for that emotional trigger, you know always happens, which category would it be? What would you call it? Like I'm going to give you guys a great example. I brought my savings challenge binder here. And one of my favorite challenges, go ahead and answer this question, put a number 3 next to it. One of my favorite categories that I've created for myself, this is my FU category. Okay. I have this FU category. This category, and I'm not joking, you've got to, when you have stuff going on in life, you got to set things up for your budget that's going to help you get through things. This FU category is whenever I'm tired of them at work and I'm like, F y'all, I'm out of here. I'm taking some time off. And that's just how it's going to be. I'm not kidding. That's what this category is for. Whatever I'm feeling like, I got to get away from them. And when I do, if I spend anything on that day that I'm off, because they got on my nerves, it comes out of this category. I'm not spending it from another one because I was just so emotional that I couldn't be at work. It comes out of this category. I got money saved in here too. I make sure to put money in here that covers. So when I'm off that day, because that was the reason, it comes out of that category. So if you guys had an emotional category and you used it for that emotional triggers from that emotional spending, what would you call it and what would it be for? Put it in the comment section below. All right. And I wanted to say thank you guys again for being here. If my replay gang is watching, make sure you're answering these questions as well, because I want to hear from you. And then don't forget to put in your hashtag Saturday Live. There will be 2 winners today. And I'm trying to get the You Spend, You Save, Savings Challenge. That's what I'm giving away today. And it's right in line on what we're talking about. You spend, you got to save. Okay? That's just the rule. And you can spend all day long and you can't get your emotions under check. You don't want to do all the things, fine. But whatever you spend, you got to put a portion in your savings account. That's just the rules. That's the rules. All right. Let me get down here. Number 3. If you could build one emotional category into your budget, what would you call it and what would you use it for? And let me get back to the comment section. Hi, Andrew. Thank you for joining. All right. Let's see. Let me get down here to the new comments. And I see some good ones. Okay, let's see. You matter too. Ooh, I like that one. Hey, Andra. Oh, this is Rachel. Hey, Rachel. Rachel. Y'all, give me a second with Rachel. Rachel, I got your package in the mail. I can't recall. I don't think I've seen you to say thank you, but thank you so much, you guys. Rachel sent me a beautiful package, and she made these just cute little like bow charms. They are so cute. So thank you so much for thinking about me. That was very, very sweet. I don't think I've seen you to be able to say thank you, but thank you so much. All right. You matter too. Oh, mommy me time. That's a cute one. That's a cute one. Yeah. Feeling fun. Okay. All about me. That's a good one. I created my oops for that. Yours is your oops one. Guilt free for all the craft stickers I like to buy. And that's another thing. This is another thing. This is what I mean. This could very well be, and it is, an emotional spin. Renee says for all the crafts and stickers she likes to buy. So why deprive yourself of that? If you like stickers, you buy all the stickers you want, but set up a category for it. That is your category for that thing you love that you know you are always going to spend. That's that thing you're like, I know I shouldn't be buying this, but you love it, right? So why cut it out? Make yourself a category for it and keep it under control that way. That is a great example. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Self-care, yes. So what? Because I want to buy fabrics and bake. Just God, oh, that is a nice. If y'all don't know this by now, two things about me. I love what I talk about. I'm not just talking this stuff. I love this budgeting community. I love what we do. And it has a special place in my heart. Another thing I love is a good name. Okay. I love a good name. I love a good channel name. I love a good name for a category. So what is one of the best names I've seen? Because she likes her fabrics. Come on now. That was original. Whatever. I don't care. That was good. I don't care, fun. I don't care. I'm spending it. So what? Mind your business. Somebody get a mind your business fund. Me. Yes. Stuff for me. Y'all see? Me time just for me. I would simply name it. Get it, girl. That's Marie. Get it, girl. That's right. Hype yourself up. Ain't nobody else gonna see this. I mean, unless you got a budgeting channel when you show it, but anybody else ain't gonna see it. They ain't got to see it. Can't say that. Oh my God. Self-love fun. Look at this. Y'all thinking like Chelsea, you gonna have a you know what envelope? Me fun. I love the consensus here is the me fun. See, a lot of y'all are saying me fun. Y'all already know what the deal is. Y'all need to be spending time on yourselves. For all of y'all are saying me fun, me. That means you need to be spending more time on yourself. Self-care. For days I need to splurge on skin care, on collagen powder, or something that will help me feel better. It used to be lipstick. Yeah. Whatever it is, budget for it. I'm sticking with life support. Yes, Kathy. Yes. We talked about this on my Instagram. Kathy came up with a great name. She called it life support. I'm like, look at, and Kathy is a nurse, guys. I'm like, look at the nurse calling her category life support. We love that. Oh my God. It could mean emergency and it's supporting my lifestyle. It could cover everything. Self-care, all about me. Just spend it. Hey, Mary and M, just spend it. Why we always got to come up with a reason or why or rationale? Sometimes just spend it. It's okay. Now, what's not okay is just to spend it and that envelope is empty. That's not okay. But that's why we're putting money in there. If you got a little money in that envelope, you take it out, you just spend it. I love it. Anxiety fun. Whatever helps. Who is that? Sharon? I like that. I have a savings challenge for my FOMO spending, but I had to call it something. I would call it stupid beep because that is what my kids call all my stuff. You tell them kids to mind their business. You tell them that may seem stupid to them, but it ain't stupid to you. Like, I think Roblox is stupid. I get an attitude like that. I think Fortnite is stupid. But that ain't my business. That's what y'all like. You know, understand what I'm saying? All right, so y'all get the point. Y'all get the point. Depression when thinking about my mother. Oh my gosh. That's it. I'm going to assume, maybe I shouldn't assume, did your mom pass away? If so, rest in peace. But that is a great, you know what? This past week, one of my employees, her mom passed away about 4 years ago. And every year, her and her sister, they take off at the same time and they do stuff together just to celebrate their mom and just think about her memory and all this stuff. She shared that in one of our meetings. I thought that was the sweetest thing ever because you got to do stuff like that to get through it. So if you have if you have an envelope like that, thinking about your mom, and if it's in sad times, change that name around, make it uplifting. Let's celebrate it, or let's just make it uplifting so it doesn't make you feel bad. I love that topic. All right. So you guys get the points. Those were some good ones. All right. Let's get to, oh, see, this time gets away from me. Okay. Let's get to our number 4th tip on how to manage emotional spending. I hope you guys are enjoying this topic. This was a good one. This was a suggestion for us to talk about. So I hope M Silk is able to join the live today. If so, comment in the chat. Let me know you're here or gets to watch the replay that we are doing her topic. So let's get into our number 4th tip on how to manage emotional spending. Okay. Replace spending habits with saving habits. Okay. How to recognize it. You can't just stop spending. Okay. And then I say this. If you know you have a problem with spending and it's emotional, you can't just stop cold turkey. You must replace the behavior with something that gives the same satisfaction. It's kind of like I don't know if you've ever been with smokers in your life, people who smoke or people who have a drinking problem and things like that. They can't just quit cold turkey. They have to replace it with something. So that behavior that they're used to, they have to replace it with something that may give them, it may not be the same satisfaction, but it kind of takes away that bad and replace it with something good. It's the same thing with emotional spending. Saving can feel just as rewarding as shopping if you make it fun. Oh my God, if you make savings fun, look at all the dang old savings challenges we do. When you make it fun, whoever thought saving money would be fun? If you would have told me that back when I was bad with money, I would have looked at you like something was wrong with you. But saving money can be fun. Turn that emotional spending moment into a saving money moment. Okay. Now, this is how you fix it. Use a you spend, you save challenge. Hint, hint, hint. That's today's giveaway. Yeah, okay. Every time you make an unplanned purchase, you got to put money in a savings account. Okay. Track your savings with visual trackers. Oh, I forgot to bring my visual trackers, but I do have some visual trackers in my Buy Me a Coffee shop. If you guys want us to download, it's a freebie. Go ahead and download. I think it's for $1,000 or $10,000. If you guys don't, I want to, and I hope I don't mess up the name, Debt-Free Charts. Debt-Free Charts. I know I follow them on Instagram. They have hundreds of charts that you can use to kind of track your savings and you color it in. It's so much fun, you guys. So go ahead, check them out. Okay. This way you can see your progress real time. Okay. Make saving social. Share your wins. Share your wins with your budgeting community. Share your wins here on our live. If there's something that you've done during the past week, we come together on Saturdays, bring it here to share. Don't ever be ashamed to share your wins. Now, don't share them with everybody. Okay. Don't share your wins and you're doing good with negative people in your life. Don't share with people who ain't about nothing and they don't see the vision. Don't share with people that want you to be on their level and don't want you to have nothing. Don't share with them. They'll change your stuff like that. Don't share with them. Come bring it to us if you don't got nobody else to share with, because you got to celebrate that. Okay. All right. Let's get into question number 4. Here it is here. Put a number 4 next to your answer. What motivates you more? Seeing your savings grow every week or watching your debt decrease every week? Just curious. Put that answer down below. What would motivate you more? Seeing your savings grow every week or watching your debt decrease every week? Okay. Put that comment in the comment section here. And again, make sure you've hit that like button if you haven't done so already. And while you guys are answering that, let me see. I think I have a few church announcements. Yes. Next week, there's no live. It's the last Saturday of the month. So we won't have a live next week. I will see you back in 2 weeks. Excuse me. 2 weeks from today, you guys, is November 1st. Is that not crazy? That is actually insane. Let me put that question back up here. So yes, no Saturday live next week. If you haven't got my TGIF savings challenge or my save for the things that you want, make sure you go ahead and grab those. Shout out to all of y'all who got my save for the things that you want challenge, the booklet version. Y'all are on to something. I think I'm gonna start making more of my, listen, when I showed you guys those little booklets I make, those are things that I really do create for myself. So I was like, well, let me see if anybody else wants one. So shout out to y'all who's grabbed those. I really do appreciate that. All right, let me get, is that all the church announcements? I think that's all the church announcements I have. All right, let me see. Let me get here. We're looking for number 4s. I want to know what motivates you most. Seeing your savings grow every week or watching your debt decrease. Which one motivates you more, okay? All right, let me see. Looking for number 4s. Oh, are these some oh, your mom did pass away. I'm sorry to hear that. 2023. I'm so sorry to hear that. Celebrate life. Uh-huh. Okay. We just had our second celebration of life for her last week. Oh my gosh, yeah. I know that's hard. Oh my God, I know that's hard. Let's see. We should create a Discord. I've heard of Discord. That's what the streamers use. I have to look into that. It wouldn't be a bad idea. I just have to look more into it. A Discord is where everybody would need a Discord account to be able to log in and chat. And I gotta read. Let me read more about it. Let me read more about it. All right, let's see. Okay, this is number 4. Which brings you more? What motivates you more? Wendy says both. Janelle says both. Okay, but you gotta choose savings growing every week or debt decreasing every week. Debt decreasing right now. Okay. Watching debt decrease. I'm on my last credit. Oh, hold on. Where's my applause? I haven't had any applause here lately. Hold on. Don't mind me. That's awesome. That is awesome. I'm on my last credit card. Give it up for Rose. That is awesome. Debt decreasing. Okay. Seeing savings grow. I have no debt. Nice. That's a okay. I'm glad. Was that Ricky? Yes. You see that? I have no debt. So seeing my savings grow. And that's one thing I like talking about. I know a lot of us are on our debt-free journey. But once you become debt-free, does your journey stop? No. Now what do you want to do? And she likes seeing her savings grow. I like that. Definitely watching savings grow. Debt decrease, savings increase. Debt decreasing, but saving for the things that's coming up. Seeing savings. Ooh, that's a good one. Both. If I really had to choose, it would be debt decrease. You know, I had someone ask me a question. I want to say it was on Instagram. And they asked me which one would I do first. And I'm summarizing this because I can't remember the context of the question, but it was more so about which one would you do first, pay off debt or put money in savings. And I think I've shared this with you guys before. Now, the one thing I will say, and this is what I told this person, it most definitely depends on the individual. So what I did in my journey is going to be different from yours or anyone else's. So that's the main thing you have to remember. But to me, what was most important on my debt-free journey was paying off my debt first. I even took money that was in my savings to help me pay off that debt because that was most important to me because I knew once I paid off that debt, then I would have more money to focus on savings. And that worked for me. And I've never looked back. But I was also in a place in my life where I could do that. You understand what I'm saying? So when I was paying off my debt, I was in a place where I was getting overtime like crazy. Do you understand? Every ounce of overtime that was offered, I took it. If other people didn't want to work their overtime, I took it. I took everything to get this money paid off. I was also door dashing, plus I was working. So it depends on your situation. If you're unable to do that, then your answer may be different. But for me, debt first, debt first. Then you'll see your savings grow. All right. So let's get back to, let's see, where did I leave off? Watching my debt decrease, knowing this will increase my savings. Don't share with people that are haters. You might find your don't share with, just don't share with negativity. Negative people, and you know people are negative, they won't get it. This thing we're doing, this journey we're doing, people who don't get it, they will never understand it. So don't try to change them. Don't try to change them. I know there's a lot of you that want to help people because this journey has been great for you. And so you want to help and inspire other people. You can try and inspire, do not try and change, because this journey can only be recognized. It can help someone. That person has to realize it. You can't force someone to see how good this can help you. You can do it. Only that person will be able to do it for themselves. So if you're around a lot of negative people and they're like, what you trying to save money for? That ain't gonna help. You know, you got all them bills, got all this debt. You trying to say get away from them. Don't share your journey with them. I'm just saying that's the quickest way. Some of y'all may be experiencing that right now, where you can't get ahead because you got too many negative people around you. That's the first step. Get away from that environment. Now, that's my advice. Seeing savings grow and hitting my goals. Yes. Seeing savings increase. Okay. So we're kind of split on this one. This, I would say this is really 50-50 what you guys are responding. All right. Well, let's get to our number 5th tip for how to manage emotional spending. Then we'll get into our giveaway. We got 60 entries, so that is awesome. So please make sure you enter your hashtag Saturday Live, because we're going to start to wrap up the live, but I want to get into the 5th tip on how to control or how to manage emotional spending. Okay. And we need to look at, is this the right thing? Okay, I didn't change my header on this one. We need to look at the emotional reset, reconnecting to your why. Okay, how to recognize it. When your why fades, your emotions take over. Okay, let me say that again. When your why fades, your emotions take over. Most emotional spending happens when you forget what you're working towards. Okay? Your money goals need to be visible. You need to remember at all times why you're doing this. And when that fades, oh, those other emotions going to take over and just start running stuff. You ain't even going to realize it, because you've let that motivation fade. And your emotions like, all right, got her. Let's go spend all this money here. Let's go do this. Let's go eat out every day. Let's go do this. That's what happens. So how do we fix it? Create a vision page or a goal dashboard in your planners, on your notebooks. Keep them front and center so you always remember what your goals are. Keep a money journal. Document your journey. Read it when you're tempted to overspend, okay? Read it when you lose your why. Listen, I sell cash stuffing envelopes in my shop. And 2 things I do with these envelopes. There's 2 choices you can choose from. One of them, you can put your category and you can put your goal directly on your envelope. This way you know what you're cash stuffing towards. Another one that you can do, another option, is how much you like to cash stuff in that category every week or every other week, however you like to cash stuff. The reason for that is so you can stay focused on what the goal is. Now, here's my first piece of advice. If you don't have a goal for your cash stuffing, what you're doing, I want you to think about that, okay? Because when we budget, the whole purpose is how to manage our money, okay? I don't want you cash stuffing just to be cash stuffing, if that makes sense. Like, I know it's great. Sinking funds are great. It helps control our spending, but we also got to set ourselves up. Okay, where is this taking us? Don't just keep cash stuff in the cash stuff and just putting money in somewhere and you ain't got no goal or no reason for it. Set goals. That way, when you reach that goal and you have enough money to cover whatever that category is, and you reach that goal, okay, move that one out and bring the next category in or focus on something else. You understand what I'm saying? All right. So I want everyone to put a number 5 next to this answer. What is your why for your budgeting journey? Now, this one may be, a little hefty, but you can make it brief. What is your why for your budgeting journey? Why are you doing what you're doing? And for those of you who may not understand that, what I mean by that is when I started my budgeting journey, it wasn't just to pay off debt. I started my journey, my why was I was in a horrible place with my finances. I started this journey because, first of all, I had a daughter and I don't want her to grow up this way. A lot of this stuff is passed on to us. I was not going to have her do this. I was not going to continue to live my life going to payday advance places and taking out loans and borrowing money and not being able to afford things, not being able to do things, always having a used car, could not buy a new car, anything like that. Enough was enough. This is why I started this journey. This is why I've maintained the discipline to stay on this journey. And this is why, I don't know if you guys saw my latest video, this is why I've been able to save well over 50K and I'm going to keep going up because that was my why, to get away from where I was and to get out of the situation I was in financially. So what is your why for your budgeting journey? You've got to know this before you start this journey. Okay, there's got to be a reason. So put a number 5 next to your answer. Let me see what you guys are answering. And then also know you can't lose this why. The why may change, but don't lose it. Don't ever lose it. And that's when you fall off, when you've lost it. Okay. Yeah, we're preaching today. Sometimes church come on Saturday. Yes, it does, because you need it before you go to real church on Sunday. All right, let's see. Let me see what you guys are saying here. Let me go to a number 5. Let me see if I can find any 5s. Hold on. Here we go. I think I see number 5. Okay. To maintain financial stability and live comfortably. Yes, that is a great why. This why, if you guys don't do journals or anything like that, have a little place where you document stuff because you need to come back and see this. You need to always remember what your why is. So if you ever fall off, you'll know, oh, yeah, that's why I was doing this. My grandkids. That is a great answer. That is a great answer. Sometimes we don't want our kids to grow up what we went through. Let me start building something for my family. Let me have something for them. Yes, generational wealth. Yes, this economy. Yes, there's nothing worse than to get kicked in the butt by this economy because you weren't paying attention to what's going on. And you know what's so funny? I was watching this on TikTok last night. I know we've gone over, but I was looking at just everything that's going on with the government shutdown and all of the cutbacks and people who receive SNAP benefits, how that's probably going to go away soon or there's going to be restrictions to it. And I saw this guy just speaking about it like, if you got your SNAP benefits in October, use them wisely. For those of you who don't know what SNAP benefits is, that is government assistance to purchase food and things like that. And, this guy was just saying, don't go spending it on junk and selling your benefits to get cash. There's a good chance you may not get anything else the rest of the year. So how are you going to plan for it? So that was a great one. This economy was a great answer. The feeling of freedom and security, not having to feel fear. Yes. But having confidence, not having to feel fear of where is my next money going to come from? How am I going to buy groceries? How am I going to fill up gas in my tank? That's a good one. Oh my God. I'm here like replay gang. Hey, gang. To be able to build generational wealth and retire early. Yes. Hold on. I think, come in. I think this is Elijah, you guys. Come in. Auntie can't open the door. You got to come in. To be free of debt and to have a savings. Yes. I don't want to have to depend on my daughter once I start my retirement. That's a good one. That's a good one. I don't have to depend on my kids. Because if you've ever been there when your parents, you've been in a predicament where I don't want to say your parents depend on you, but you have to take care of them. This is sounding awful, but that's not where I'm going with this. Where they didn't have anything set up, so you had to figure it out. And sometimes that puts families in a tough spot when you got to take care of other family members. So that's where I was going with that. To see where my money is going. Sick of debt, need money for retirement, and so I can stand on my own someday. Yes, y'all got it. Financial freedom and early retirement. Yes. To be financially free and to start generational wealth. Y'all got it. Hey, Lucille, to get out of debt so I can buy a house. My why is to feel free, to stop the anxiety, to travel and live life more. Stop survival mode. Can I put that on a t-shirt? Stop survival mode. That's why we do this. Don't you want to stop survival mode? Like I said, we getting too old for this. We getting too old for living paycheck to paycheck and wondering where things are coming from. We got to stop it. But it's only going to be up to us. That's why I like talking about these things every week. We've got to make that decision to stop. If not, we're going to continue to live in it. All right, y'all get the idea. So go ahead and put your hashtag Saturday Lives in. I know we ran over. My apologies, but this was such a great topic. Once again, I want to thank, this was from M Silk for suggesting this topic, because we all need to talk about it. I don't think we've ever talked about managing emotional spending. So this was a great one. Again, if you guys ever have any topics or suggestions, you can email them to me. Let me put my email up in case some of you guys don't have it. My questionnaire is in the description box. You can always send me a question, or you can leave it on my Buy Me a Coffee page. All right. Let's get to the giveaway tool. We are doing 2 winners today. We have 70 entries. So you guys know how this works. It takes me a couple minutes to pull up and share my screen. So you got a few seconds if you have not put in your hashtag Saturday Lives yet. Here we go right here. All right, here we go. Good luck, everyone. All right, now remember, I'm giving away 2 winners today. My You Spend, You Save Savings Challenge. Every time you want to go shopping, you got to put money in a savings account. Marianne, I'm pretty sure you've purchased this from me. So send me an email and we'll pick out something else for you if you want to pick out something else. Okay. All right. Marianne, she is our first winner. So let's draw again. All right. Here we go. And ain't she cute? Look, she's a little pocketbook with feet. This was a collab with Beauty Mom Budgets, you guys. Susan, I don't know if you have this, Susan, but if you don't, send me an email and send me your address on where you'd like for it to be mailed, and I'll definitely get it out to the mail to you guys. But again, I want to thank you guys so much for being here this Saturday and just being here on all my Saturday Lives. I hope you guys just enjoy building this community, having a place where we can all talk. Just know we're not going to get it perfect the first try, especially for those of you all who are watching who are beginners. You're not going to get it perfectly the first time. It takes practice, but you cannot give up. All right. Don't forget, there's no live next Saturday. I will see you guys in 2 weeks on November 1st. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Love you guys.